Looking to sell your vehicle? Contact the United Auto Wholesale Team. We'll buy it. Old or new, car, truck, SUV, van, call to set up an appointment. Then stop in, make the sale, and get instant payment. Sell your vehicle to United Auto's Wholesale Team.
It's Local Music Monday.
If I had hair, I'd be headbanging right now.
It's like I just woke up.
Yes, wake up.
That was so good, dude. That intro was so good. Genesee Joe almost took his hair down.
Yeah,
started headbanging.
I almost did.
It was close.
You got great hair.
Thank you.
It's really bold and beautiful.
Oh my God,
I want to rub
love
my
it.
fingers through it.
I've got enough for everybody.
Wow, nice. You're like the.
It's still wet because I washed it hours ago. But
Right.
You look like an apostle.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You do. Thank you.
You do. What's up, everybody? It's Local Music Monday. Shout out to the sponsors: United Auto Sales, EJA Moving Services, Joey's at 307. Under Too Long. It's a book by Billy the Liquor Guy. It's a good friend of both of ours.
I love Billy the Liquor Guy.
How about that book?
That book was actually really good.
Yeah,
I haven't read it yet.
It's Billy lived quite a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Too is everything about that book is cool, especially since like when you see stuff in movies and it's like the brasses doesn't know what's going on with the guys on the street.
Yeah.
And you think, well, that's how they write movies. And then you read Billy's book and he's like, no, it's actually worse.
Yeah.
They literally
Actually
don't
worse.
know, you know.
Thank you to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, my attorney Dave Longaretta, and Ballsy, ballwash.com. Joe, did you get that nut rub I sent you?
I didn't get the product, but
you didn't.
that
But
night at the Stanley Dark Star Orchestra, that was wonderful.
Wait a minute.
I showed him my secret spot.
You're still handing out those trial things?
I'm kidding.
Like, oh, God, I hope not, because I'm almost out, dude.
You're first in line. I am almost out myself, too.
God.
I'm almost out myself. In fact, before I was using it every day.
Yeah.
Now I got to,
Pick and choose.
strategically place where I'm going to use the nut rub.
Is today going to be humid? Must wear nut rub.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Am I working outside?
Right, exactly.
Yes. Genesee Joe in the house with us today, Justin. How about this?
I'm going to go the whole podcast without saying the F word once.
No, don't do that. Come on. No.
Joe. Why? Because Mindy said something?
No, because I usually say it a lot, and I was just going to joke about it when I fuck
just
it up
fucking say it.
So there's one.
It was a lead into a joke that you guys just wrecked, so there we go.
We're keeping the running tally right now, so that's one. Because you drop them a lot.
I do drop them a lot.
Mindy
I do too.
made mention it to me. She's like,
Did she really? Well,
she goes, he swears too
oh,
much.
fuck, I shouldn't say that
That's
stuff.
too.
I didn't know the boss was listening.
The boss always listens. Hi, Mindy. We're going to give her a shout out.
She is a sweetheart.
Yes.
That's part of the reason why we're here today.
Yes, is to talk about the drive. It's 92.7 on the FM dial here in the 315. And Joe, you're keeping that place alive.
Thank you.
Alive. Joe, and the other thing is, dude, I really loved you in Family Ties.
You're welcome.
You were really good in that. I loved you in Family Ties.
So how long is the delay now on 92.7 for you to actually catch all your F words like when you're live?
God's honest truth, the funny part is I can do it. I can get away without doing it.
Really?
And you know when I've made mistakes is when right now I made an announcement like the 2:30 break. I said, listen, check out the Disruption Network.
Oh, thanks, pal.
I said, nobody's going to tell you the truth, but I'm not even here. I'm over on the corner of James and whatever it is.
Wow, kayfabe. You broke kayfabe.
I broke the shit out there,
Holy
man.
shit.
You know, we do the least of the voice tracking thing.
Yeah.
But what will happen with me is, and this is the God's honest truth, especially like during the whole pandemic when I was there by myself.
Yeah.
I'll be pre-recording a break. Blah, 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 92.7 FM to drive, and then, like, the phone will ring or the door will ring. I go, oh, what the fuck? Jesus fucking Christ. Two more. And it's Jesus, so you got to give me an extra one for that. But,
Jesus is a half a point.
So then I'll swear, right? Yeah. God damn it, what the hell? The phone's ringing. And I'll stop the recording and then go do something and forget. So then I put it in the log. And one day, Fletcher called me up and goes, I could tell his face must have been like, what did you just fucking say on the radio? I said, what? And lo and behold, yeah, I had let an F-bomb slide.
Yeah.
But luckily, the only thing was I turned away from the mic, and as I was walking out of the room, I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You guys are going to need
I lost count. I think it's like 8.
Yeah, you're gonna have blisters on your fingers.
Can we have somebody at home keep score, please?
Turn it on to up to 11.
I'm gonna go through rewatch this whole thing
Oh, yeah.
and then count all the dings.
You should. They just have a little counter in the corner.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of go to 11, very important thing. Do you see Spinal Tap 2 in 2024? They're actually doing a second movie.
Stop.
Somebody just passed away though.
He's not one of the main guys. He was just one of the guys who was a drummer. In the
He was
band.
one of the drummers, yeah.
You know what's funny was
The exploding drummer.
Yeah, he had like a real, like that guy had a real resume. I mean, I know he started out in something like Atomic Rooster, but they were one of the precursors. But he played with a lot of people, that guy.
Yeah.
And scored a lot of stuff. He was one of those dudes, kind of like a Stuart Copeland, that like scored thing, you know. So he was, but I can't remember his name, so.
Mick Shrimpton.
It was Mick Shrimpton, but that's not his real name.
Thank you, Dave Borgia.
Right.
There you go.
He was on top of it right there. Yeah.
You know the thing about Spinal Tap. Of course, I have to throw in my Toto references wherever I can. Steve Lukather had a lot to do with that movie.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did. I don't know if he wrote a lot of the songs or if he just produced the band while they recorded or whatever.
You know,
but he had a shit ton to do with it.
You can tell that because he must have been in on the writing. Because like working on a sex farm tonight, I'm gonna rock it tonight.
Yep.
They're actually good songs.
But that's his sense of humor too.
Yeah.
Though, that whole thing. But
we play working on a sex farm once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, not just because
Is
we
that
dare
bigger
to be
the
different.
cushion?
Yeah.
Better the pushing.
Hose in. No, that's
mean.
Big Bottoms.
Oh, that's Big Bottoms. That's
Big
right.
Bottoms,
Right.
my girls got them.
Right.
But those songs were like really good, and like because one time, God's honest truth.
They are good songs.
Yeah. The anniversary of the movie, which I think is like beginning of March when it was released in '84, came out, and it was a Saturday.
84, wow.
So, Lady Di's Hard and Heavy. I said, Diane, your Hard and Heavy rock block tonight is Spinal Tap. I said, and play it like, you know, and then say that today's the anniversary of the movie. But yeah, so I think we did Tonight I'm Gonna Rock It Tonight and Working on a Sex Farm.
Love it.
Hosing down your barn doors. It's just so funny, you know?
When's the new movie out?
I think it's spring of 2024, but it's definitely a go.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so. But, you know.
Must be exciting.
Same thing, like about 15 years ago, it was one of the anniversaries of that, and they put out the director's cut, which basically just had a bunch of shit they didn't put in the movie.
Sure.
And it was almost a whole second disc, and it was just as funny. Like, it was just as funny as what they kept. That could have been like a Netflix series, you know? Mm-hmm. There wasn't Netflix then, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway.
Oh, you know what I just noticed down here?
What's that, bud?
The captions, they star out swear words.
Do they really?
Do they?
Yeah, because you know you have like the auto caption on Facebook.
Yeah.
Then this is a 5-star show.
Yeah.
Our boys from Not Robots checking in. What's up, guys?
You
Good
know
to
what?
hear from you.
I think we have to.
Motorlord.
Motorlord's in the house as well, man. We love those boys from Motorlord. I got to give a big shout out to Not Robots for winning the Sammy this year. It was super cool to see those guys win the Sammy.
You know, I got to get back to AJ from Handsome Bob because he sent me a message.
AJ
today.
Bates?
Yeah.
I love that kid.
But let's start there with the local music stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love
it is
Because
Local
otherwise,
Music
this is
Monday.
just going to be a rambling. You know, we'll get to the drive stuff. We got Bob and Tom comedy coming in to catch a tour.
And then I want a typical Genesee Joe rant at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I've got a couple.
No,
All
well,
right.
just
Springtime.
take not now. Hold it.
At the end.
Hold it.
Listen, we want
Motorcycles, fires, and pollen, and I'm going off.
We got.
I
to
thought of that.
Well, and we're gonna end the segment with it and just cut
Cut it.
as he's in the middle of ranting. It'll be great.
We're out.
Oh, it'll be like
I
The
love it.
Sopranos.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. AJ from Handsome Bob.
Yes. So I'd like him to sit on my lap for now. No.
You guys would match up in the facial hair department.
Yeah. Oh God.
He's got the
that
thing going like
thing
this.
Is great, man. but Handsome Bob, the Not Robots guys.
Yeah.
Career mode, pepper on the salad.
Motorlord.
Motorlord.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm forgetting. Well,
Beside the Sun.
yeah, they're young though.
Yeah.
We have
Lower
all of a
Topla.
sudden. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
Lower Topa there.
Topla's. Yeah.
Carson Murphy.
Carson Murphy.
And not only are like Carson's a good example. Not only does he do the band stuff, but he does solo stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, my second part, which not going to be the big rant, but it's part of the rant. You know, Carson, he'll play covers during his solo stuff, and then they're an original band. the kid gets it. But my thing that I'm loving is post-pandemic, all of these young guy bands have popped up. And going into it, it was guys 50 years old, 60-year-old. There was no 20-year-old guys in bands.
We started our podcast asking everybody on the show, do you know of any up-and-coming bands or any up-and-comers coming out? And everybody's same response, I haven't heard of anybody.
And the other beautiful part? They're all doing simple but right-on stuff to tell people where they're going to be. At Carson Murphy, first of all, sends me the dates. Those guys do. They tag me when they do stuff. But they're putting out their schedule. They got a little graphics around it. It's cool. They're putting it fucking out there.
Yeah.
Some of them are doing like little, commercials on Facebook, little videos with, like they're doing it right.
Right.
They're young guys. They're coming up. And like that Handsome Bob, they get a crowd.
Oh, they're killing it right
the
now.
career mode guys do too.
Yeah.
If we weren't talking about this, I could tell you. Just down at that place in Herkimer, the Surfside Tavern.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Three of them played down there the other night. It was one guy's birthday. But the place was packed, and everybody was dancing, and everybody was having a good time. This is exactly what we needed.
Right.
They're drawing, and they're their friends.
Yeah.
And, it's just right on,
I love it.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see stuff like that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's very important.
I don't have anything bad to say either. No. I have nothing to complain about
Can you
yet.
save it for the end?
I'll save it for the end.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Pollen. It's building. I can
But
feel it building.
The one thing that we do need right now, because it's starting to become summer,
Yep.
they can play outside. All the breweries are happening and stuff like that. But we need more venues.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Kate, of course, was at the forefront of that, too. Kate Devin.
Kate Devin, yeah, for sure.
And then
Ashley's
our buddy,
great.
Yeah, our buddy Seth Panabianco with King Squiddy. They're another band. Like, I'm trying to not forget these guys, but we have
Great band names, too.
Yeah, a full crop of young bands coming up. And that's what we needed, because this area always had good local bands.
Yeah.
Guys from out of town would come through, or even guys that had progressed on to be, playing either in the big league, so to speak, or playing in Los Angeles as session people would come home and go, there's musicians here that are incredible. You don't find this other places,
Right.
Did you ever go? I remember going down to Cape Cod to Gloucester for Thanksgiving, and we were there the night before, and I was like, well, what's going on? And there was like two places had like a guy with a guitar in the corner.
Right.
It's like, what are you, nuts? Where's all the musicians in this area?
Yeah. We're lucky. We're blessed.
And even like our buddy Jim Inman. I mean, he's cool. He's
sure.
down there, he's playing all the time.
Down in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, there's such a tourist business down there all the time.
So he's coming up?
Yeah. He can play, all the time. But it's not the same as it is here. We have, like, killer bands that could be playing anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
Even in like the Blues Society too. There's a shit ton of bands coming out of your Blues Society.
yeah.
Are you still president of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board. Look
That's
at
right.
You. Yeah. You're the best.
Start spreading the news.
Another old white guy in charge of something. But, no, and then there's the other one, Uncle Charlie and the Meatballs.
Love
Oh,
those
yeah.
dudes.
I mean, look at Jake Lozo.
And Jake's playing with who's the other band he's playing with?
Spoonie and the Tone Chasers.
Yeah.
They practice right below us at the Marine Corps in Ilion, yeah.
The kid's
That's-
a freaking shredder.
Yeah.
That
it
is the cool part, though. There's so many of these bands that you got to have a conversation and have them keep popping up like that. That's a good sign. That's
Here's a
real
good sign for you. When I'm going into work and I'm talking to Joe Finelli, who's our house sound guy at the Stanley, and Joe is
Always
a sound
in
guy.
a good mood. God love him.
Yeah.
Always got a smile on his face.
Yep.
And in the
Anyways.
middle of his work,
Sarcastic.
make sure you start to make stupid jokes to him.
But when Joe,
Oh, yeah, he loves
just
that.
loves that.
He loves that.
Stop and talk.
and tell him to turn up to 4K.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Give him a hug, too. He loves hugs.
you know that Jake's a shredder when Joe Finelli goes, hey, man, I got to see Spoonie and the Tone Chasers last night, and that freaking kid's amazing.
Yeah, he's
when
incredible.
Joe's saying that, Joe don't give compliments out.
No.
No. Because he's been in the business for so long.
Yeah.
You get jaded after a while. Like, we're jaded.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give any compliments out, unless it was really good.
Yeah.
And for Joe Finelli to say Jake is a shredder, it means a lot. And he is. The
Jake
kid-
came out of nowhere, too.
And the thing is, it's not just that he's a shredder, because he can play sweet stuff, too. You know what I mean? He's just not all fire and flash. This guy can play some shit.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
And everything he does is with feeling. That's what I love about what he does, because he's not just playing to play guitar to get chicks and to do all that stuff. He's playing because he truly loves what he's doing, and he feels the instrument. It's an extension of himself, which is great.
He's got God-given talent.
Yeah, sure does.
He does.
And like I said, came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, came out of nowhere. I had no idea that Jake was a good. I've known Todd Lowe's dad for years. I mean, you know, shout out Lonesome Dove, rest in peace.
Yeah.
No more? They're not together anymore?
No, they had their last gig. I think it was the end of last year or something like that. But you know, I think Todd's retiring again.
Really?
But his son, you know, Jake is killing it, man, just killing it.
And Todd, you know, was a hell of a singer. That guy had a great voice.
Oh yeah, still does.
Doesn't he paint trains or something? Is he like a? He's a like.
He owns the.
He's a professional painter, right?
Painting,
yeah.
Tri-County Painting or something like that.
So somebody one time told me, "Oh, that guy paints trains," and I was like, "I don't know about the trains part, but yeah,
yeah, I know he paints.
I'm sure he could. I mean, how hard is it? You know?
And that begins our first rant: painting trains.
Yeah,
damn it.
I don't like the color of the red.
Yeah,
Joe, when did you start playing harp?
You know, it's funny. I just talked about this the other day.
Did you?
It's not funny.
Because I feel
There's
like
no
just
humor
one day you
whatsoever.
showed up with one and you just started blowing.
When I was a kid, I started like playing along with like Neil Young songs, and then around, believe it or not, around 1983 or 84 maybe, I got that Doors album that came out called "The Live She Cried."
Ooh,
and
nice.
At one point, it's the sixth song starts up, and they go, it's the one that Jim says, it's Little Red Rooster. He goes, somebody throws a joint on stage. He goes, "That's what they call a New York joint. You can pick your teeth with a New York joint." So I was like, "Oh, do you know what he said?" And he goes, "We'd like to bring out our friend John Sebastian." And then he was playing the blues tune with him and bending notes and stuff. And I was like, "Whoa, how do you do that?" So that was actually in the 80s, but I didn't start playing with anybody till like Fletcher in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And then Slug started after 2000.
Right.
So, yeah. But I did just kind of walk backwards into it. You know?
right.
Yeah.
So.
And now you're a monster.
Because I knew all my guys like Lenny and the sister. I knew all these guys that were like professional musicians, and I was like embarrassed. I was like, I ain't telling them I'm doing this. Get out of here. And we had a band called Disgruntled Monk that used to play at the PLAV in West Utica because, you know.
Love it.
Yeah. We could play there. We could play there.
What the hell's the PLAV?
It was the Polish League of American Veterans. It was just like a, you know, a vets club.
A vets club.
And it's been closed for years, but it was still open then. And kind of like the Polish Home.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they would have dinners there and stuff like that. But it was like on the corner of Francis and Mulberry, or it was buried down it's in that
West
neighborhood
side.
behind Munson Williams, in between Munson Williams and the Arterial.
Copy that.
So they would let us rehearse there in the basement, and we had to play once a month upstairs.
That's
so we
cool.
would do that, yeah, and had a lot of fun, you know. So my buddy, a buddy of mine, Ralph, really like a handy dude, came up with a light system that he made out of light switches. It wasn't
cool.
like we bought a lighting rig. He came up with a plywood box full of switches, and he would just sit there and hit the lights through the whole thing. It was cool. It all worked. It was so neat, you know. But yeah, it wasn't until I started playing with Slug that I started telling people.
Yeah.
And I regret that now.
Well, if it's any consolation, the first time I saw you play with Slug, I thought you'd been playing the harp for 20 years.
too.
You know what I mean? It's just
Really?
Once again, it's I mean, you see guys that play with feeling, and it's an extension. It becomes an extension of their bodies, and those are the true players. You know what I mean? That's where the true talent lies.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
And you have a presence about you up there.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're the tallest one in the band.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So come on now.
You're like the guy in the Saturday Night Live skit that plays the cowbell.
I am like that guy.
Yeah.
I love it.
I told Chris Andreski the other day because I got that new Line 6 Bean. The
pod, yeah.
And I went over to Bob Oxhouse, and he put, like, you know, Fender Bassman and a Fender Tweed. So we put in all the sounds, and it really sounds good. So I told Andreski the other night when we were setting up on stage, this thing's getting great. I said, my notes are still all wrong, but they sound fucking spectacular. So. But
That's Bobby Ock though with that with the Line 6 stuff. I've never seen anybody in my life program like that.
Yep.
Because like you know, I've never seen anybody. You don't see anybody using Line 6 live. Everywhere Bob plays now, he's using his Line 6 amps and everything.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a roaring tube amp setup. You know, because he's always been so good at programming that stuff.
And, you know, I went over and he was like, oh, I got like the bean. I got it up at Big Apple. And he says, oh, man, I haven't seen one of these in a long time.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me think. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, that's the bass man. Play through it. It's like, it was perfect. He good thing he didn't remember how to
right, I know.
But, yeah. But you know what's funny about being the tallest guy in the band? So I bring the whole Line 6 setup and everything to the gig out in Central Square in this field. They had this great stage built out of logs. It was like a log cabin stage. It was really cool. So cool. And fucking brought everything but the microphone.
Fuck, I missed it.
I brought everything but my green bullet mic. So I tried to play through a regular mic, and the XLR to quarter-inch cable that they had didn't work. So I said, oh, crap. So I played through the PA. I don't know how the guy did it, but he had it sounded great. But if I stood on the corner of the drum riser, I could hear it absolutely perfect because now nobody was in front of me. And so I just stood on the corner of the drum riser. So instead of being an orc, I was like a super orc because I was now 18 inches above everybody else, you know? And I had, of course, we're playing Hippie Festival. I had my Ace Frehley solo album T-shirt on. You know what I mean? So, but it was funny. I was like, I feel like one of the Ikettes up here, I was telling Bobby. But, yeah, so instead of being an overly big dope, I was twice as overly big dope. So, yeah.
So being that you came into the industry or the business, whatever you want to call it, late as far as playing-wise goes, how many times have you had the, oh, shit, I've forgotten something on the way to a gig? You know what I mean? Where either you turn around or you can say, fuck it, I can get it at the gig.
Great question. I like that one.
That is actually a great question. Well, there was the other night.
What the?
Thunder.
Oh, it's thunder.
Oh, yeah, it's thundering outside.
That scared the shit out of me for a second.
I know.
We got some good ones rolling in.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be
we might lose power here. Whoa!
Well, if we end up in the dark, we're going to find out who's the man's man.
I'm going to let you know. I'm going to start drinking if we lose power. That's all I'm saying.
If we lose power and it goes dark, we're going to play Guess Who's in My Mouth. Squeal, boy.
But you noticed for a second we all looked like, was that a shotgun?
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
Because, you know, especially current events lately.
That can be one of the rants later on. You shouldn't make fun of things and call it like Utica, but then again, you're absolutely 100% right.
Utica.
You never heard that term?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've been calling it Utica.
Oh, my God.
And you can't really argue with that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, boy, it is raining
it's
out there.
Pouring out there.
Yeah, we have a discrepancy right now. Joetown has you at 8 F-bombs, and Gina has you at 9. So there's a slight discrepancy right now.
Throw one in there just in case.
I would go with Gina.
Yeah.
You talking about Gina Scampone?
No.
Oh.
No, this is Gina Bonomo.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go with her. We'll go with the girl. But anyways, back to your question, which was a good one. Forgetting stuff. One time on a Utica Monday night, I left my stuff in my girlfriend's car, and she didn't realize we were playing. She drove off, and this was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, no
and
cell phones.
I had nothing. Yeah, there was way before cell phones. I'm usually pretty good with not forgetting things. I usually take that dummy check before I go out of the house. But it has happened. It is. I've had to turn around and, one time with Thunderwatt, I forgot the bass player. We were all out. Remember that place in Bridgewater was open for a little while?
Yeah, Club Aqua.
Club Aqua. We're all hanging around, talking, having beer. Inman, we're helping him set up. Like, where's Jim Chase? And him and Bob looking like, you were supposed to go get Jim Chase. Like his car wasn't working that weekend. Yeah. I was like, I'm supposed to go to, what? And he lives in Oriskany. So luckily I took right down Route 8 and I had to go get him. So I did forget a human being one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I also forgot one time to tell when we had Downtown Funk and Blues Band, we were opening up the Brewfest, and I forgot to tell Dan Sistai, who was playing guitar with us on those gigs at that time. So I forgot that. But for the most part, no. Luckily, I don't forget things too often. That's the one thing I'll check to make sure of, because, yeah.
What about you, bud?
I left my guitars at home many times.
Have you?
Yeah, just walked out without them, and then if you're getting on 5S in Frankfurt going towards Utica, it's when you forget something at home and you know you got to turn around,
you got a ways.
You got a ways to go, and it feels like an hour and a half to get from Frankfurt to Dyke Road, when it's only like maybe 7 minutes, if that, 6 minutes. But you're driving, and the F words are flying at this point. And then you got to turn around. You got to go down the old 5S back to Frankfurt. It's literally like the drive of shame. So I've done it many times. But the worst one.
Go ahead.
We were, you know this story already.
I do.
I can tell in your eyes right now. All I can see is Anthony's eyes right now.
Is this the one at? No.
Sylvan Beach.
Sylvan Beach.
Yeah. So I get done playing at Sylvan Beach, and we get done packing up, and we're outside talking, waiting to get paid, and shooting the shit, and get done, say goodbye to everybody in my car. I go and drive home. Lights are off at my house, and I'm sitting there just trying to wind down in bed, and all of a sudden I just sat right up and went, I totally fucking forgot my guitars. And my ex-wife at the time, I wish I'd left her in Sylvan Beach instead of my guitar. Anyway, I woke her up, and she's like, where did you leave them? I said, in the middle of the fucking road in Sylvan Beach.
Oh, jeez.
3 guitars in the middle of the road.
Ew.
I called the state trooper barracks up there, and I'm like, can you send a car? I'll be right up to get them tomorrow. Could you do that? They laughed in my face and hung up on me. They laughed at me and hung up on me. And so I'm like, well, I'm fucked. So I'm just going to go to sleep. Not driving the fuck back up there at 4 in the morning. I'll fall asleep and drive off the road.
Yep.
So the next morning, I get a phone call from, when John Shore was in the band, his brother Adam called me. And his friend, who was on the fire department, they had gotten a fire call, and they're roaring around the corner, sirens blaring. They come by the Crazy Clam, and this guy goes, stop. They stop the truck really quick. He runs over. He goes, I know exactly who these are. Puts him in the fire truck, and they went to the call, and then they brought him back to the firehouse, and they got him back to me.
Fireman 1, police 0.
Yes.
Hey, Tony Lamazza was saying the question should be, how many gigs has Justin arrived with all his gear?
You know what's funny is
I cut me deep there, Tone.
I have forgotten more things at shows.
He's not lying though.
At shows than before shows. And the one thing I don't like is when you forget something home though.
Yeah.
It's always neatly stacked right by the door.
Yeah.
So it's like you were there almost, like you had it ready to go, and then walked right by it. But I've forgotten stuff, and talking about leaving stuff in the road. One time back, I had a great, not a Fender Princeton, but a Fender Yale amp that I bought from Nicotera.
Oh yeah,
it was my first amp for playing through, and like an idiot, one day we had played at the Devereaux on like Saturday, and I was working there, so I went and cleaned up on Sunday, middle of winter, and it was freezing out, and I had a van, so I put the stuff out on the sidewalk, and put some in, went back, locked the door, closed the gate, put the chain around the gate. And it was so cold, I just jumped right in the van and drove away, and I left that Fender Yale sitting right on the street. Somebody found my amp standing there.
Damn.
Oh, my God.
So.
Damn. Borges saying he left all his drumsticks home a few times.
Yeah, Lenny Jr., every time we played at Dick's, it was either his drum key or his sticks. Mm-hmm. One time he left his throne at home, too.
Yeah.
He didn't have any place to sit down and play the drums.
I got a brass knuckle story. You brought up Lenny, but one time Anj forgot his microphone. He needed his microphone. It's the wireless. He loves that microphone.
Yeah.
And we get to like the Westmoreland exit, and he oh my God, I forgot my microphone. I'm like, I'll have microphones there. No. So he does a U-turn on the throughway.
Oh, my God.
And he goes back, and he starts talking to the girl. He goes, listen, my girl locked her keys in the car. She starts telling her the story. She's like, I'll be right back. I just asked for you. And the girl's like, yeah, sure, just go. And, like, didn't pay for the ticket, because he U-turned before getting to the next exit.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so he comes back, and he gets the microphone and stuff. And then, and I don't know, he was like, his thing was just talk faster than they can think, and then they'll let you go every time. If you could talk faster than they can think, then you're good.
That is actually words to live by.
Yeah.
Right. Talk faster than they can think.
Here's another example, perfect, nothing to do with music, but just my forgetfulness. I mean, legit, not even kidding. went to 2 different golf courses last week. One I left my coffee mug at, and the other one I left my sunglasses at. So I thought. So I went through. I called these places. They don't have any clue what I'm talking about. So the other day I get in my car and I drove, and I had to hit my brakes real quick for a second, and all of a sudden my coffee mug rolls out from underneath my seat. Right. So I'm like, oh, cool, my coffee mug. That's great. I got it back. Awesome. Right. I go. Yeah, just for shits and giggles. I get out of the car, I go around the other side, I look under the seat, and there's my sunglasses. It happens to me every single day.
And you're not even a pothead.
No.
When it does come to just forgetting things in general, though, it's an everyday occurrence.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm headed down the
We just got a lot of shit on our minds. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. I really believe that. I think musicians, especially people that think, with the other brain, they just have way too much going on to worry about silly guitars.
I'm trying to keep the radio station stuff all on, and then I do a lot of painting and stuff like that. So I'm running a little side gig.
Contract painting.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then there's the other side of my brain that is thinking of song lyrics from 1984, a movie I watched in 1976, something my dad said one time.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible to remember everything,
That's my brain in a nutshell right there, 100%.
And my girlfriend, Diane, is the exact opposite. She's got a filing cabinet brains.
That's my wife, yeah.
Just pulls the drawer open, and there it is. I can ask her where stuff is, and she'll just be like, oh, come on. It's on the left side of your dresser, right by the lamp, not in that record thing that somebody gave you that's a record melted into a bowl. Next to that, underneath, 2 receipts, and whatever, it'll be right there. And I don't know how she does it.
That also sounds like Lenny Milano, what she just said.
Oh, yeah. See, the thing is,
it's by that thing. Not that the record thing, but the other thing behind the cabinet.
Matter of fact, I just got another text from Lenny right here.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah. What did he say? He asked me about a phone number. He says, do you know who's supposed to play the Blues Jam in June? Well, Lenny, thank you for bringing that up.
There you go.
Blues Society. The June Jam, no, I do not know who's supposed to play it, but it'll be somebody good.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
We do have Phil Petrov coming in, though.
I love him.
For the July one.
He rips.
So wait a minute. So if Phil's coming in, that means Lenny's playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. It might be a roundabout way.
Here's my question, though.
Can you guys talk like each other to Lenny? Talk like Lenny to each other?
Well, see, the thing is, now don't go there. We're going to talk about the Blues Society, but the thing is, what was I saying?
I was thinking that maybe you guys could have that Phil Petrov thing that's not the trio, okay, but when they have Frank Tellerico come in, Frank used to play back in the day, I think there's some. If we could get him out of his house, it'd be a great addition to the Blues Society event.
God, I love that guy too.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
We're not making fun of him. We're celebrating.
Oh my
him.
God, 100%.
I love that man.
I've learned more from Lenny in my life.
We're gonna keep making fun of him until he comes on the show. By the way.
For sure.
I should have texted him when I was on my way over here and said, "Just meet me over at Z's." Come on.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
That
would have been awesome. We're gonna have a 4-part episode for Lenny though, or just block out 4 hours.
Well, first of all, he thinks like no other person.
No.
He can figure stuff out. There's a guy from down around Boston when Bob Ock first opened up Ock Rock. And he had a record that was it was all recorded, all the parts, and didn't like it. So, every record starts with the drums and the bass.
Sure.
And somehow Lenny went back and came up with better parts and played it to what was already recorded.
Yeah, I've seen him do that.
And it doesn't sound like that's hard, but that's really hard.
I won't even I won't even say who the record was or what it was, but the drummer had left the project. Didn't know if he was let go or if he was, whatever. But the drummer left the project, and the album needed to get finished. And Bobby hired Lenny to come in and re-record the drum tracks with no click, with the band already playing.
Yeah,
he re-recorded the entire album.
I think Lenny did that a couple times for me.
Yeah, it's been a few times. Yeah, it's been a few times he's done that. But I mean, it's insane. I mean,
and the next thing is he's a master carpenter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He does great work.
beyond, he's not a carpenter. He's a master carpenter.
He is.
Finish work, all that shit.
Yeah, Joe and I got to work with him last year on a house that he redid all knotty pine throughout the whole entire thing. And Joe and I, our job was out in the garage, sanding, staining, restaining, resanding the tongue and groove pine.
Yep.
568 boards that we had to do, and it took us like 4 months.
Wow.
It probably would have only taken us a month and a half, but there was a lot of stories being told in between.
Hey, Bobby's checking in. He's saying leave Lenny alone. And he's saying he did that a couple times with the track.
Yeah, Bobby would know, definitely. I mean, that was most of the stories that I've heard about Lenny. It was because Lenny, I've told this to Lenny before. Like, there's certain guys for me in the area that were like my starstruck people.
Yeah.
John Liebing being one of them, and Lenny, because Lenny, there was always the legend of Lenny Milano before you met him that you had to hear about, especially as a kid, growing up in the Valley. I mean, you heard about this illustrious drummer, Lenny Milano, who was like, who did all this stuff, you know what I mean? And like played on all these records and and to hear, you got to hear all the stuff that he played, and then, to meet him, it was the first time I was ever really starstruck by a musician, especially one that lived around here. And I told him that story before, and he laughs. Oh, he laughs so hard when I tell him that story. He's like, me? What?
Yeah, well, all right. So here's my funny, here's the tale of how I met Lenny. At some point in the 80s, I was still in high school. My dad hired him to do some jobs around the house because my dad knew his mother, Penny, right? So he was coming around, and they started out by doing a bathroom for us, okay? It was him and another guy. And then, so he was doing stuff down, like, at the bridal shop, too. And then eventually, the house that I live in right now, upstairs where my girl lives, he took that apartment. So they moved in next door, and I was probably now in 10th grade. And actually, Mark's sister, I lived downstairs in my apartment where I live, because Lenny brought his friends in to live downstairs, right? Him and Judy.
Yeah.
So that's how I met him. And then I took the carpentry class where we built houses at UFA.
Oh, wow.
So my dad was like, look, my son, Joey, or I was Joey to everybody, Joey's interested in this stuff. You do it. Can he help you do a few things? So I helped them build a deck on the back of the house. They took 2 porches off. We put a deck on. And then we sided my father's house. And then I was just his employee. I was his guy.
Right.
But we hung around all the time. And so I picked up all that music stuff, all those stories. And then I got to meet all of those local musicians through him. So the ones I wasn't meeting through my dad, who were the older generation. And one day he goes, come outside. He calls me up. He goes, come outside. You have to take a picture for me. And I go out there, and you want to talk about being awestruck. The band was the band. He just posted another photo of these guys the other day. The Toasters. So it was Lenny.
Oh, wow.
Rich Mancini, Danny Holmes, Liebing.
I saw that picture.
And Dinger.
Dinger, yeah.
Now, they're fucking breaking balls. And I'm like, 15, and I walk into the middle of this, and it was like, holy shit, who are these guys? You know what I mean? Like, I knew who Liebing was. I knew who Holmes and Mancini were. And they were all right there. And then, I had to take their picture, and it was like...
Oh, you took that picture?
Not that one at the Valley Brook. I took their first little press shots.
Yeah.
But then I got to know all those guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we built Bob's place, and then I met all those other dudes, and it always seemed like Lenny... Either between my old man or Lenny, I was always meeting all these musicians.
Yeah.
And so I knew all these guys well before I ever thought of doing this stuff.
Right.
But that's probably why I ended up doing it, because all they were just,
He broke you
everything
in.
they looked was so cool, and I already knew these guys, so...
He jumped you into the gang.
He did jump me in.
Well, that band had to have been really good, too, if John Liebing, who is an extremely accomplished guitar player, is playing keyboards for the band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like...
And it's not like they were doing, easy songs because it was like a local supergroup. They were doing songs with arrangements and stuff like country. The first time I ever heard Country Girl from the Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young album, Deja Vu, was because the Toasters did it.
Wow.
And I got to go while they were rehearsing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
I took pictures of them on the deck, and then I got to go hang around up there. So they were breaking balls on each other. They were breaking balls on me because I was some kid. That was,
Sure.
But Yeah, and so it was like that was my introduction to the local music scene. Was all stuff through Lenny or through my dad, because my dad booked the acts at Hannah Park for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did it under Hannah. Then he did it a little bit under Palinga. Then it was off for a while.
So
and then
late 70s, early 80s?
Or mid 70s to late 70s, and then like mid 80s.
Oh, okay.
Because
when Hannah came back again?
No, it was La Pola by that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny too, because I would be down there hanging around with him when Hannah's first terms, and you want to talk about ringing a bell. Hannah would go off on everybody.
He was nuts.
And just like, I would be right there. And one time I remember we were in the office and something happened and he didn't see me, and he was screaming at my old man, and he was screaming at the guy who was like the head of the maintenance department, and he was laying into him F-bombs and everything. He turned around, saw him, and he went, "Whose son is this?" And I was like, "It is." He's like, "Oh, nice to meet you, son." And like, totally shut it right off.
Yeah, yeah.
And even then, I knew this guy's nuts.
Oh, he was nuts.
He's completely nuts.
Was it CBS or somebody? They did a whole Dateline special on him.
Oh, that's out there, man.
Oh, yeah. You could see it on YouTube.
I worked on the east side when Tops used to be. I think it's Hannaford now, but when it was Tops and they put the bank in there, Charter One. I worked at the bank, and it was right towards the end, right before Ed had passed away, and he used to come in with his wife all the time, and I was in the store doing something, and I could hear somebody swearing loudly, and so I ran back, and I see him screaming at one of the manager or whatever, and I just walked over casually, and I was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "This motherfucker," just yelling and screaming, and I'm like, "Let me take care of it. I got this," So I walked over and I said, "Mr. Hanna, what can I do for you? Like what this and I helped him, and so every time after that, anytime he called the bank, he would have to talk to me, or anytime he would come to the bank, he would have to see me. And if I wasn't there, he'd leave and come back again later. And it was the craziest thing, but I don't know why he took a liking to me, but it was the craziest thing. So that's my Ed Hanna story.
The one thing I always remember about him, too, is when we were kids, he lived up in South Utica, kind of in the uptown neighborhood. And he gave out those 1 pound Hershey's candy bars on Halloween.
Did he really?
Yeah, he gave out them big full ones. Yeah, man.
So everybody go to Mayor Hanna's house for Halloween, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And then they'd bomb it with eggs after and shaving cream. That's some Utica shit right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the Hershey bar, fucker.
There's my vote for you.
Another funny thing, and I thought of this earlier when I was listening to, and once again, loved the whole thing with Danny, Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he worked for the city for a while.
Danny, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that because that was about that time. You remember when
Danny worked for the city?
Because I remember meeting some guys. This is why I think I know I met him. Because I remember meeting some guys that would come around, and the old man would be like, "Oh, this is so-and-so." And then there were other guys where the old man would be like, "Just shut up and behave yourself."
Right.
Like, stop running around. And there were a couple of guys that, seemed to frighten everyone. And I think one of them had to be him. Because he was a bad dude, man.
His job was sidewalk inspector.
Yeah.
That was his title. But that's some Utica shit right there, too.
Sure,
the guy's out on bail for murder, and then they were like, "Here, we'll hire you here at the city of Utica. Yeah. You're the sidewalk inspector. Here's a Polaroid camera. Go take pictures."
But being a kid...
That's some Utica shit.
Where do I apply for that job?
Right?
What the fuck?
Being a kid, though, in Utica and being downtown, especially with my old man, they had a bridal shop, and he knew everyone. I met all those mob guys.
Yeah.
I met a lot of those guys, and you just realized, how Dad would react to them, that you just shut up and stand still. And then there were other guys who were his friends where it's like he was more relaxed and all that. But you knew when somebody like that was in, and then little by little, all those names came out.
Right,
you know what I mean? So we had a guy actually that lived in the apartment upstairs with my parents. There was a 3-room apartment in the back. And he moved, his name was Arnie, and he moved over to the east side, and it wasn't long after there was a hit put out on him, and he got killed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's weird. I never made the correlation between me and local mafioso.
Right.
Our boy AJ's checking in. He's saying all about the brick road with Ed Hanna. What's that? Is that the expose. There's a couple things about him on YouTube right now. you can
Probably
watch.
is, yeah.
The one where I want to say it was John Stossel or something came to town and interviewed him, and he was on national.
Yeah,
news a lot,
yeah.
which
And they
is
just
so
bleeped
crazy.
him out.
Yeah.
You know what, though? As crazy as he was, did you hear that thunder again?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a truck.
Oh, it's a truck?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I thought it was thunder again. Jeez, I'm like,
When Hannah's second time around, though, remember we had all the arsons in town?
Yeah.
They brought the arson task force in. But he made that deal with the Army to have those houses all torn down.
Right.
And that actually was a big thing.
Sure.
Nobody else was doing that. And honestly, the whole thing of going around picking up the trash and all that was Ed.
Yeah.
Right.
He wouldn't, but he would. It wasn't like Palmieri where they're all doing it. He was screaming and yelling at the guys that he had doing it, but still he got it done.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Hey, Mertz is checking in. Saying Hannah brought in the Henry Paul band at Hannah Park.
Yes, he did.
Henry Paul. Now who's that?
Henry Paul came out of the Outlaws, but Henry Paul's two big songs were Gray Ghost and, there was another one. There's a Gray Ghost. Oh, man. How embarrassing. Genesee Joe can't remember a Henry Paul.
Hang on, hit the delay button. Hit the delay button. We gotta get this right.
92.7 The Drive FM. And here's our forgetful host.
Yeah, Gray Ghost was one. I can't think of the other one. All right, For the Love of Me. Well, there we go. I might as well retire
Well,
now.
you might. All right, show's over.
Yep,
That's it.
Well, let me
AJ
tell you about the day where Genesee Joe forgot about the
Outlaws.
Henry Paul band.
Yeah.
All he could remember
'Cause-
was one song.
Oh, was it Ghost Riders in the Sky? I think was the other Henry Paul tune.
I don't know.
No, anyways.
You're on your own with this one.
Anyways, but Henry Paul came out of the Outlaws, but the Henry Paul band did a lot, and man, they did play down there once. I think the CDB played down there. Charlie Daniels played once.
Did Blue Oyster ever play down there?
Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult played down there.
Yeah, but they played there for when it was an OUR fireworks show.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Was there ever an OER? See, you would know
They
this.
did the Taste of Utica there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it might have been. Was Taste of Utica?
Did they ever do a fireworks show up at the Parkway?
Yes,
Oh,
they
yeah.
started there.
That's where it started.
That's where it started. Because I was at one of the first ones. My parents brought me up there, and I don't know who was playing that first one, but
One of the first ones, Vinny and the Butchers, I think, headlined it. It was
Yep.
local bands. It was
Yeah,
all local.
okay.
But they did a few up there, and then somebody's always got to be an idiot. I'm sorry. Somebody's always got to be an ass.
Here we go.
rant number one.
Rant number one. No, and this is well before I got into radio, but somebody came in from another town, didn't know really where they were, decided to park down in the middle of Cornhill, and when he got down there, didn't like the African-American guys hanging around his car and thought he would express his displeasure in the most derogatory way possible.
Awesome.
And he got clobbered and sued everybody. And that's how it got wiped out at the Parkway.
Is that what happened?
That's exactly what happened.
Did
Everybody got
he actually
there.
win?
I think he might have.
How would anybody win that case? It was his choice to fucking park there.
We don't need common sense here. But then it went to Vernon Downs, and we had a successful run at Vernon Downs.
That was
Tom
the
and
first-
Jerry put those shows together.
My first show I've ever gone to, my first real concert. I was Blue Oyster Cult was there. Night Ranger, I think, might have been there. That
Yep.
First year I went.
Yeah.
Yep.
Night Ranger and the Tubes were on the same bill.
Yeah, and the
Yep.
Nixons. Remember the
Nixons were up there.
Nixons,
Yep.
yep.
Sweet Vine played up there.
Yeah.
Government Mules first two times up in central New York were at our shows up there.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, so
I love the fireworks at the Parkway.
you want me to
They need to bring that
complain
back.
or you want me to tell a funny story? Which one do you guys want?
Funny story first. Complain. I'm
Funny
gonna
story
let you.
first.
I'm gonna let you off the leash for all your rants and raves.
But I
for
love
the end of the show.
everyone. I love everyone.
And here we are, the point in the show where it's
Yeah.
what grinds Genesee Joe's gears.
There you go.
No, so funny thing. We booked the Tubes and Night Ranger on one bill.
I remember this.
And both of them played great.
I was working there then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
was with you guys then.
Oh, then you're going to remember this.
Okay.
So we had the dressing room trailers behind the stage, and then we had the broadcast, the radio station one. So everybody came in before their set for a little interview. And then when the interview stopped, they were still recording back at the station in the studio. And it's funny, I never thought of it like this. Now we would just have our phone and have them record drops. But it was going through over the transmitter, but not over the air, and it was being recorded. Hi, this is so-and-so from Night Ranger. You're listening to the radio station. So before his interview, Fee Waybill gets off the bus.
Oh, boy.
And they were playing a little early, right? They were playing second to Night Ranger. They were playing below him. And he gets off. And all of a sudden in the backstage area, you hear somebody screaming. And it's Fee Waybill. And he's screaming at his road manager. But he's letting it fly. What do you mean we got to fucking go on before Night Ranger? No, that's not me. That's Fee Waybill. Still, he said it. Can't unring a bell. Nope. That Night Ranger, if I knew we were going on before them, I never would have took this. This is bullshit. Blast this guy.
Wow.
But everybody heard it. Everybody back there heard it. Like everybody starts walking slow and quiet, So 10 or 15 minutes goes by, maybe an hour or whatever. But it's still fresh in everyone's mind that the guy from the Tubes is now pissed off.
Right.
Had a rock star meltdown, right? So he comes in to do his little interview. And he's cool. He's entertaining, he's friendly, everything's fine. And I think it was Jerry that interviewed him, but everybody was in there, right? So he finishes the interview. There's this air of relief. We give him a clipboard that's got the little script on it, and it says, say this, and then ad lib if you want. He goes, ad lib if I want. What should I say? And I was holding the microphone for him. I was right here next to his chair. I said, say that shit about Night Ranger again. And the whole trailer just went dead silent. And he cracked up, cackled. He laughed so loud. He goes, well, they do suck, don't they, kid? And then everybody started laughing. But I thought Allison was going to literally die. Because, there's just people milling around and talking, and thank God he's not mad anymore. I was like, say that shit about Night Ranger again. Right here, right to him. And he looked at me and he went, bah! He cracked up. And oh, my God. It was just, it was like a dead silence for a second until he laughed. And as soon as he laughed, everybody broke up. But I've got that tape. I've got it. I can play it on the air anytime.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We still have a mini disc.
It was on mini disc. It actually was on mini disc. And
wow.
I found it during the pandemic. Somebody was doing a Woodstock 99 documentary. And they got in touch with me. Right, so I found the mini disc in the player, which technically I stole.
You have a player?
Yeah. I got a working one.
Wow.
Really?
You need one. Yes, if you need one.
I have all my old radio station mini discs.
And you can send it right through the microphone jack with an 1/8-inch plug right into your computer. You can save all that stuff. So if you ever want to borrow it, it works fine.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's literally when OUR moved up to Washington Mills, it was literally going in the dumpster. And I asked Dave Dowdy, I said, can I take it? He's like, yeah, we're throwing it out. So I kept it.
R.I.P. Dave Dowdy.
Yeah.
He was a good man.
He was a good man. He really was.
Smart.
Yeah. So the other fireworks story was, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think there was a lot of headbutting going on between our one friend who was the promoter and our other friends who were my mentors in the game, because it was going to be the 10th year, and they didn't want Eddie money. They didn't want anybody who had already been there. They wanted to kill it for the 10-year anniversary.
Is this our favorite promoter?
Our favorite promoter.
Okay, I got you.
And, dude, you got personalities. These guys aren't going to take any shit from the other guy.
Nope.
It's like my dad and my uncle, you know what I mean? Like, how do you can't pick a side, right? So it got down to the wire of, if you don't let me know what the lineup that you can offer us is by noon on Thursday, we're not doing a show. And the other guy was like, I've given you good lineups. So what if any money's already been there once? Or whoever, right? And noon came. And at 12:02, Bill Keeler went on Rock 107. It was like, we're presenting Fireworks Over Utica, the 10-year anniversary. Didn't even wait. Didn't call bluffs and everything. And that's how what Rock 107 did the last 4 or 5 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Literally right like that. And it was an explosion of hatred out of downtown. Yeah, it was crazy. I think they did 3 and then stopped them, and then Ed brought him back after he bought OUR in 2008, 2009. But it was like that cutthroat. I mean, like, seriously cutthroat. I was on that team at the time, so I was on the losing end, but I gave him a lot of credit for he had that planned.
Right.
You know what I mean? That deadline got laid down at noon, and he was like, I've been on the phone with them since 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. We're ready to go, and they announced. They announced it just right after noon.
Wow.
Yeah.
I miss going to concerts. I mean, maybe it's just the
radio wars.
But
remember how bad it used to be?
Oh, sure.
It used to be really bad.
Yeah. Sorry.
Maybe it's like nostalgic for me, but like that being my first concert experience, I drank Old Mills in the parking lot tailgating. Like, remember those old wooden cases of Old Mill?
Yeah.
Like, that was my first taste of tailgating and everything. But I miss concerts at Vernon Downs for some reason. I don't know.
Me too.
I really enjoyed it a lot.
Cheo had a great run, the 96, 97, 1998, right around there. Like Fish, Dave Matthews, The Dead.
Yep.
Like
It was becoming a full-blown regular tour stop. And then the neighbors didn't like it because, the access and the egress and, that one friggin' road.
It's bad. It's just
on.
one lane.
That one fucking road isn't good enough for that.
He rang the bell himself. I love it.
He's right, though.
No, yeah,
It's just
totally.
That was the only thing.
Yep.
And you know what, man? I hate to say it like this because I like the venue and the concerts and all that more than anything else. But it's hard to put 7,000, 8,000 people in some other person's backyard and front yard.
Yeah.
Because what happens when you invite people to something?
They piss all over the place.
Piss all over everything. They wreck everything. Yep. So, I mean, I wish that it was still like happening all the time, but at the same time.
Well, that used to play in our summer because we would always go, like, Dave Matthews that one year played there, so they'd have like individual artists, like big artists play there.
Bruce played there.
30,000 people. Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen. We actually played inside the casino that night.
Did you really?
Yeah, the night he played there. So he broke his own record for the most amount of time playing at Vernon Downs that night. He played like 4 hours and 23 minutes straight or something like that, and it was like the longest show he had ever done up to that point.
If you remember, it was August, but it got cold.
Yes, it did.
And so I had been there all day because we got a last-minute broadcast. And I saw Chuck. I was helping him put the garbage bags in the trash cans beforehand because I had like an hour to kill.
Yeah.
But it got cold, so it got to the last song, and then he came out for the encore, and we said, let's beat traffic. Let's just get in the station truck because also I didn't want the station truck there as people were leaving because that's when stuff will happen, And they, we love you guys, and then there's no windows left in it. You know what I mean? So my girl and I, at the time, got in the car and left, and he played like a 12-song or a 10-song encore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yep.
We were like, well, he's going to play like Thunder Road. He's going to play something else. We don't need to hear that. We'll just beat the traffic out of here. And he played he played in a whole other set. He played an entire set.
It was incredible. But yeah, we played that night. We just got our brand new PA system. We were so excited to use it, and it was packed that night because everybody who didn't want to go home filtered into the casino. And it was freaking mobbed that night. But I remember the '94 K-Rock. The K-Rockathon that was there. They had
the first couple.
Yeah, the first couple, and that would play my summer. I'd go to fireworks, and then after it was K-Rockathon, it was like that whole thing. And I remember seeing Cowboy Mouth and the drummer, like they had like this thing in the middle of their famous song where you hear the bass drum, boom, 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 and then the drum tech would go in, and the guy playing drums was the guy singing too. And the guy he'd be talking and talking, you don't notice it, and then they come back into the chorus. He's hanging off the rafters in the top of the freaking stage, all the way in the top. Blew me away. I was like, that was awesome. And Matchbox 20, right before they hit with Push, before.
That was Tom Starr. That was all Tom Starr. Tom knew that song was going to be big, so we started playing it. But he could work with those record company guys to get them to send those bands up at a low price. Yeah. Because they used to do that back then.
Oh, my God. We were making fun of Matchbox 20 because nobody knew who they were. They come out, there's not very many people there because if you don't recognize the band, you take time, you go around to some vendors, you do some stuff. So I was like, I don't know, in that general admission area, like 4 or 5 rows back, I would say, right? And all of a sudden, Rob Thomas comes walking out. We had no idea who it was, but he's got this big Stetson on. It was like this fucking big,
Yeah.
And we were, oh my God, we're ripping on him so bad. Who's this fucking asshole? You're like, blah, 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 and they started
It's only for you.
They started the show. They started their show with Push.
Yeah.
And everybody that was making fun of them just stopped and their mouths just hung open because they were so good. They were such a great band.
If I recall it correctly, and I sometimes do and sometimes don't with things, but that 3 a.m. What was the first one? Push was the first
Push
single?
was the first single, yeah.
That one just between when they were booked and when they played, that blew.
Yep.
That blew up. So by the time the show got there, it was like one of the hottest bands, the hottest new bands going.
Right, right.
All of a sudden, it was going to be at Burning Down. So that was all Tom, God bless him.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the best show at Vernon Downs was that Horde show with Beck and Primus. And Neil Young.
Wow.
And
I
Ben
remember
Folds
that.
5.
Blew me away.
And Ben Folds 5 on the
Folds
side
5.
stage.
Yeah.
And,
Nobody realized that there was only 3
Morphine.
guys in the band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Morphine.
Morphine was on that bill.
Killed it. I didn't even know who they were. They were great.
Beck killed it.
That
really?
blew
thing
me
with
away
the
that
sunset.
night. Yeah. It blew me away
yeah.
that night.
And you know what's funny is, like Neil Young played a short set. He had some bug up his ass that night, and he played a short set. But still, man, it was so cool to see Crazy Horse in him up at Vernon Downs.
Yeah.
But Beck was off the hook.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I think that like Kula Shakur and Leftover Salmon were on that too.
Yes, you're right.
Blues Traveler
Yeah,
on
you're
it,
right.
yeah.
Blues Traveler, yep.
too,
Yeah.
because it's a Horde thing.
Yep.
You're right. Coolest Shakur. I forgot about those.
Was that
guys.
their tour?
It was the
What was
Blues
it?
Traveler tour.
What
wasn't
did,
it?
what
Horde
was
tour?
no? What was it?
Yeah, it was,
It
yeah.
was. That was their tour. That's right.
It originally started off as them and ARU and Fish and
Yeah.
who else was
Didn't they
there?
come out-
Horizons of rock developing everywhere. But then the Allman Brothers got into it.
Yep.
Hot Tuna played it.
Government Mule.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, they were all in there. Yeah, like I wasn't that whole tour conceived like at the old Rainforest Preserve in New York City, like that whole.
I think so.
Where they used to do the thing and they had the VW van inside, and that was that documentary that came out was great.
The Wetlands documentary.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh my
it's
God,
great.
the wetlands. Oh my God.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, it's
on
insanely
YouTube. You
good.
can watch
Oh, wow.
it.
So good.
It's old. It's been out for
Yeah,
many
sure.
years. But that's a really good one. And then Mo, that's actually how they got their break too. Was off the Horde tour.
Oh no
Really?
shit.
yeah.
Hey, let
Or
me
was
ask
it
you.
further? No, it was Horde.
Yeah, it was Horde.
Yeah, it was Horde.
Yeah. You know, let me ask you a question, Justin, because you brought up something cool. When you guys played in the hotel after Springsteen,
Yeah.
now we played after 38 Special, and the whole time I'm thinking was, I hope some of the 38 Special guys are here because we're playing all Southern rock.
Right. Right.
So when you play like those things and you know that there's, do you get like your hopes up a little bit that maybe there'll be a sit-in or some kind of occurrence, and has that ever happened to you?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's been a few times that we played with, like we played after Foreigner at Seneca Niagara Casino out in Niagara Falls, and all their fans came in. And Jerry, who sounds just like Lou Gramm, when he sings, so we do like Cold as Ice, and the freaking crowd went crazy. We were like, oh my God, baby, and like they weren't there. We only had we had one musician, the drummer from Queensryche, Casey Grillo.
Oh yeah.
When they played at Turning Stone, and he literally showed up after they were done and like hung out with us after hours, like when we were packing up.
Wow.
Like he was totally cool. He was like looking at Joey's drum set and stuff. But we had Ron White after.
I remember Ron White
came
getting
up
up
on
and
stage
dancing,
and did the whole "Call Me Al" dance, like the Chevy Chase and Paul Simon did. He did the whole thing with it. And there's that picture where you see him going like this. That was what he was doing there. So he came twice, came up on stage twice. So that's 2 different times. And we were playing Rivers Casino in Schenectady, and George Lopez was there.
Oh yeah.
But he stayed and watched us for a
You're
long
forgetting
time.
the best one out of all of them, though.
Probably. I can't.
Michael Glabicki.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, Glabicki. So he's hanging out down. He's hanging out down at.
He's hanging at my
the
place
electric
because he
company.
was banging some girl from Utica.
Yeah.
And they were,
That's
and
why
I'm not
he was
going to say
around
her
him.
name, but she's a great friend of mine, and they were hanging out at my place.
Right.
He was hanging out, and then Lenny Jr. was like, "Hey, I want you to see my buddy's band."
Yeah, they do a really good job with your songs. You should come down, right? So we had already played. This is such a good story. We had already played our one. We did Some Am Away.
Yeah.
So we'd already played that, in the night. And I see Lenny walk in with this guy, and I have no idea who he was. I'd never seen him in my life.
Oh, you never knew who he was?
And so Lenny comes up and he starts talking to Jose on the side of the stage, and we're playing. And Jose goes, all right, we're showtime. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. It was like right at break time. So he goes down. He's talking to him, shooting the shit. And he comes over and he goes, yeah. He goes, that's Michael Glabicki. He's from Rusted Root. He wants to come up and jam with us. Do you remember Ecstasy? And I'm like, yeah, I could do that in my sleep. That's a great song. Let's do that. Yeah. So, like, walk around. Everybody's trying to figure out what they need to figure out. Sean's still in the band. Ben was in the band. And he gets up on stage. And I'm like, there's no fucking way this is that guy. No way. Because it didn't look like who you hear. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't fit who you would hear, you know? So, you know, all of a sudden he starts playing it. And I watched him play it. One time I watched him play it. Sent me away. Realized I was playing it wrong. Okay? I mean, from a guitar player's standpoint, when you see somebody, the person that wrote it, play it, you pay attention. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like he drones out the single note, dun, 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 and then you hear dun 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 dun, dun, but he's droning that one note. So to this day, that's how I play it now, just like he did. And so we went into ecstasy and just absolutely destroyed it. But we ended up on Topics. It was the only time that Showtime was on Topics for something positive, okay? So this guy goes on Topics. He's like, yeah, I'm in the Celtic Harp inside, and, you know, Showtime goes back on stage after a break, and I'm walking out with my beers, and I hear "Set Me On My Way" by Russ and Utica. I'm like, those assholes already fucking played that song like this. And all of a sudden I look up and I realize that it's not Justin singing, it's the guy from Russ and Root. So yeah, that's awesome.
A cool story.
I love that.
Yeah,
story.
so he got up and sang and played both of those songs with us. So that was really cool.
That's something.
So shout out to Lenny Jr. He made that happen.
He did. So. He did. What about you? Yeah, ever have any big collaborations?
The only one, once again, just like that, the only one that I can really remember is, well, Slug played something with David Gans, and I played like crap.
Right. New Riders of the Purple?
New Riders of the Purple Sage, Fletch played with them. They didn't play with us. Because I was like, this ain't open mic night. Back off. No, I will say this much, though. I played down at the place that is now Cacciatore's, was the Ilian Elks Club or the Moose Club? Moose Club.
Yep.
A benefit that Dave Morgan put on, and the Nighthawks were the headlining act. And Mark Wenner let me play through his amp.
Cool.
And then stood there and made the adjustments on the knobs as our first song started. And I was like, get out. Don't watch me play. Get out of here.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But that's as close as I could get. I never really had that. But I was hoping, like, when we played Vernon Downs after 38 Special, that somebody from that band, because we were doing Skinnerd and the Almonds and all that stuff.
These guys all bounce right after now, though. You know?
They do.
We opened up for Eddie Money, and, like, his daughter was out watching us, but he never came out to see us.
Yeah.
We hung out with Benny Mardones a couple times. We opened up for him a couple times, so he was cool.
Benny was always
such a great run.
Benny was always kind of aloof with me, but at the time he had known only like Tom and Peter Hirsch and Jerry and those guys, and we were like the kids, the new guys in the thing. So he was a little like, who fucking cares about you?
See, now it's funny you say that. Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah,
it's funny you say that because
you're up to 14, by the way.
We were told specifically.
Really?
Yeah, Joe Town's keeping tally.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you,
15.
honey.
We were told specifically, we played at Foles Beach House the first time to open up for Benny. We were told specifically, it doesn't matter if everybody's freaking out, no encores. You know, you just get in, you do your set, and get out, okay? Sure, no problem, you know, whatever. So we get done with our last song, and Benny's on side stage. And we're like, thank you so much. Benny's like, no. Do another song. Do like one or two more. You're good. You guys are good. Because he was enjoying us, which I thought was pretty cool. You know?
How cool is that?
We got off stage at what?
How cool is that?
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was right when we first got together, too, at Showtime. So it was like 97, 98.
And those shows were huge, though, because he would do Memorial Day and Labor Day weekend at Silton Beach for Dick Fole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I hosted some of those.
Yeah, you might have hosted that one.
Yeah, I think I might have.
Yeah.
I might have, yep.
Sylvan Beach.
Did I ask you to sit on my lap in the van? No, it was somebody else. Never mind.
Yeah.
No.
Is Sylvan Beach, is it back to being like a hot spot for music?
Well, it is. I mean,
It used to
honestly,
be back in the day when we were growing up.
Yeah.
I loved going to the beaches.
I mean, there's
I'd
always
love
music.
to see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's music at the Lake House. That building is amazing, by the way.
It really
the
is.
Casino did.
Yep.
That's incredible. Where the old Foles used to be. You got Harpoon Eddie's, which has live music just about every night of the week.
Yep.
Across the way, a good friend of mine is reopening Willie's Chop Shop.
Yes.
Which used to be run by the Carbones, but they sold it to my friend Gooch, and he's reopening it. Gooch was part of opening. Remember the Back Nine in Rome?
Yeah.
Gooch was part of that whole deal. So,
we live in an area where there's been more than one Gooch, by the way.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. This is my friend Gooch from Rome. So this is a Rome
there was
Gooch.
a Utica Gooch.
There's a Utica Gooch. Yeah. So, So Willie's Chop Shop, and then I don't think there's any place else right now. Crazy Clam's not having anything.
No.
Yep.
So yesterday's Royal doesn't even exist anymore, even though they fixed the building. Remember how you used to go by the yesterday's Royal and it used to curve? The building used to curve, and it was like they should have condemned it. They actually fixed it, so now it's like all back to normal. Like,
you know what? A lot of people, and I'm one of them in certain respects, complain about the Turning Stone, complain about those guys. And I do too, because honestly, I think, and I'll be completely honest with you, I think they throw advertising dollars at the corporate stations, and stations like mine who have bigger audience than OUR, took their whole audience. They don't fucking give us the time of day. They just started to now return phone calls. And I think it makes a good point because El Zorro can help them with some of their clubs, like if they have dance clubs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They should.
Yeah.
But for years they wouldn't, because they would just blow money with them, and they should have been. So I've always had a bug up my ass a little bit. But who doesn't around here? If you ask me, though, there's only one place that was going to pull Sylvan Beach completely out of the dumpster, put the fire out, and make it something, and that's those guys, because they had the money, the ability to do stuff, because their projects never fail, and they now are doing that.
So what I heard
They
that they
built that whole rental,
the whole rental place. Did they buy the amusement park? I had heard a rumor that they bought the.
I heard
that too.
I've heard both. But
okay,
they're the only ones who had the money, the resources, and the record of success to do that. And I know people are going to get mad because they bought that trailer park and had everybody go, and I'm sure that was terrible for those people. But the only entity that was going to come in with the right amount of money to do the lake house and the vacation section now, it's them. They're the only ones. And if you want to complain about the green algae and the
blue algae and
the
all
state,
red algae,
they're the only ones who are going to get the state to do something to clean that up.
Right.
Yeah.
If anybody can do it, it's those guys.
Copy that.
So I think that nobody was going to save Sylvan Beach and make it like it was when we were kids, because once that stuff gets kicking, now the place down the block, now the place, the old Pancake House, now these places can have faith to invest in that town.
Right.
But it was the Turning Stone was the only ones that were going to do that.
Yeah, those buildings are super old. Too, and
But
now
my uncle had the
talking,
Pancake House for years.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah?
My Uncle Mo was that was him.
I remember
LaBella.
you tell me about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Like we were just talking about venues. I mean, we're running out of venues, because you don't want to playing in the local band 101. You don't want to oversaturate the area you're playing in. You know what I mean? So you don't want to play this bar and then play the one across the street the next night. You know what I mean? Because you're burning yourself out. You're burning the area out. But at this point, we've lost all these venues, and there's a lot of places to play now. With Varick Street and stuff, there used to be on that end of it, but. How about the Celtic Harp coming out with that schedule and everybody losing their minds like it was going to be Saranac again?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
It was actually kind of smart marketing, but also some copyright infringements going on there too.
Yeah, but maybe they got permission
What's
from Saranac.
copyright between friends?
Yeah, right. But I mean, the amount of people I saw on Facebook losing their fucking minds, oh my God, it's back, it's back.
Listen, but that's
why is Last Left playing 4 times?
Yeah.
What the hell? No bands ever get any. Nobody come out. Then all the shit talking starts. I love it.
Yeah,
drives me crazy.
That was the glory days of topics.
Yeah.
Now, did I say Tom put a permanent roof over that stage?
He did. Yes, he did.
Did he really?
Yeah, yes, thank God.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's another one. He's got a good track record.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So let him do it. But people that got mad over Saranac Thursday's demise. First of all, there's no 600-car parking lot anymore.
No.
That's true, too.
That parking lot was huge. That was the key to the whole thing. So how you can't understand that part, I don't know.
Yeah.
Second of all, after 20-something years, maybe it had run its course.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And let's face it, no matter what happens, a guy 2 blocks up and around the corner at midnight on Thursday could get in a fight or a stabbing, or there could be a big fight at a bar down the road. And it's all Saranac Thursday had to riot.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many times are the Mats family supposed to take that?
Right.
How many kicks in the ass are they supposed to get when they had nothing to do with it? Their event had been done for 6 hours.
Yeah, and then can you imagine the amount of, like, there's, like, what, 4,000 people there every Thursday night, right? Can you imagine how many people are calling Saranac going, why do you have this band? You know, why is this band going to be there? Because the two arguments every year, and it was like any time the Saranac would be like, they were like, oh, it's the same bands every year. So the next year, they brought all these kind of newer bands in. They were trying something different. Attendance goes way down, and everybody goes, nobody knows who the hell you're putting up on the stage. Well, make up your mind. You know what I mean? You can't have it both ways. You know what I mean?
I love this area, but boy, you are talking about an area where people want it both ways.
Yeah, all the time.
Eat the cake, and I don't want the cake to be any less when I'm done eating the cake. It's got to be there. You know,
I do. You know what I would do? You know what I've always wanted to do there? I mean, and they got the room for it. You have 2 stages, one on each side, and do sets. Like, you know, whatever band is the main stage band or whatever, they play, and then on the set break, you have this band over here on stage B that's like a new and upcoming band, and you can watch it if you want, you know, type thing. But, you know, have like a two-stage thing or something like that, or have an opening act on one stage and then switch it over to headliner
festival
after.
style.
I always wanted to do a series like that where we get the bigger bands in town.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. You know, Showtime, the Gridleys, the Bombs, you know, and they go on, and you tell people the show starts at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and so they all show up, but we put an opening band on to play 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Unannounced, so that people don't not come, and then we show off, you know, pepper on the salad or a handsome Bob.
Right.
And so the Showtime audience gets to see them. The Last Left audience gets to see them.
Right. And then
because if you say they're going to be there, they're going to wait to come out and see the band.
I give a lot of credit to these newer bands that are coming out right now because when we were coming up, we had like Rattle Basket. There was a band called
Miller's Mills,
Silver City.
I remember them. Yeah.
You know, Silver City, or not Silver City, was maybe, I don't know. What the hell? I can't think. Anyway, there was a few bands when we were coming up that would allow us to open up for them. You know, and we would have an opportunity to. The bar owners didn't care. It was cool. Everything was great. And nowadays, these guys are out grinding it themselves. They're self-promoting on YouTube. They're self-promoting. I mean, Handsome Bob's got freaking flyers. Like, you know, like just pepper
great.
on the salad is putting flyers in other bars. It's hilarious. I love it.
Should.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how you do it.
It's unbelievable.
I meant to tell that kid get message in my face and say, don't put flyers for your show in another bar in this other bar. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, but
yeah, we used to get.
He's doing it.
We used to get in trouble for that too. But you know,
if it's a bar that doesn't have live music, I see it's okay with it. Yeah. But if they do have live music, it's kind of
this one had live music. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, maybe you got permission though, because
nothing wrong
I don't
with
know.
a little guerrilla. Nothing wrong with a little
guerrilla warfare. It was in the men's bathroom. It was in the men's bathroom.
Yeah. What I like about it though is all these up and coming bands. Everybody's getting along pretty well right now, so it's good.
Yeah.
You know,
but I really do.
Except for that damn Gridley page.
I know. Nobody likes that Tim guy. You know, I'll tell you.
We haven't mentioned him in a while.
I'll tell you, the one thing that this area still is missing is a good, like, I mean, Saranac Thursday proved that this area can handle a good festival. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think there should be something outside, a good venue.
And we have a great park at Proctor. It would be a perfect freaking venue.
I've driven past that park every time I'm on the parkway, and I'm going, oh my God.
It's perfect. They do it in Rochester.
So
Why can't we do it here in Utica?
And once again, because everybody's going to piss all over everything and they're going to dig up the grass.
Yeah. Also, there's not a parking area for 400 cars over there.
Yeah.
You know where's a good one is that Handshake City place.
It is.
And they're doing some little things, but that could be a possibility.
You could probably bring a stage in over there.
Yeah.
I think the Handshake City, it's a cool setup. I love the way it's set up over there. It's got a great little bohemian type of vibe over there.
Yep. You know what we should do? We should when they tear down Charlestown Mall, we'll build a fucking amphitheater.
There you go.
And we'll put in a gigundo amphitheater right there, like a big, concert venue.
Yeah, put the venue in one county, though. You could put the parking lot in the next county. But right now, Charlestown is in both counties.
It's in both counties, that's right, yeah.
Just park in Frankfort, park over in Herkimer County, and go to the event in Oneida County, or vice versa, you know what I mean?
It's right on the line.
But, so anyway, speaking of Herkimer County.
Yes.
And before we run out of time, because it's almost 4 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, I got to go.
The drive has some stuff coming up I want to talk about.
Damn, Italians talk a lot.
I know, right?
The absolute, in my opinion, my favorite part of Bob and Tom show now is the way that Josh Arnold and, Willie, the new blood, has really made that show funny. Because after Bob retired and left, there was like a period where even Christy Lee was gone for a bit. So, and I'll say it, and I don't like this, but, Bob and Tom can be a little polarizing. Some people don't like him because they remember him from before with, Bob's obnoxious laughter.
Yeah.
But I think that show now is funnier than it's ever been, and it's because of Josh Arnold and Willie Griswold and now Chick. And, Tom has become the old curmudgeon who's like the butt of the jokes and all that stuff. Yeah. So we're bringing in an incredibly funny guy, Josh Arnold, and Willie Griswold, this Saturday night to Cacciatore's down in Ilion. Great place. Really good food. $40 tickets. Get you a buffet dinner, opening set from Uncle Charlie and the Meatballs during happy hour, then the comedy show right after 7. And I should say it's brought to us by News Channel 2, WKTV, Daily Sentinel, Big Dog Motors, Drive, and Cacciatore's. But I went out and saw Josh out at the Funny Bone in Syracuse back in March. And his set was incredibly funny. He kills it. So, that's going to be great. There's not a lot of tickets left, but the whole night is well worth it.
Yeah.
Shit, I spent $45 on beers and food besides the ticket.
Yeah. How about the food down at Cacciatore's?
It's incredible. It's really good. Those guys know how to cook, man.
For sure.
So that's coming up Saturday, so we got to plug that.
Is Bob and Tom, is Bob on it?
No, he retired about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because
the Motorlord's saying he misses Bob.
They kept the name. I think he might own the name.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But anyway, yeah, so, so that's happening Saturday. It's going to be a really good time.
Sounds fun. So you get a meal, you get music and comedy all in one night.
Yeah, all at once. And
that's a great idea, great concept.
Something new for Uncle Charlie. They're doing an acoustic version
cool.
of themselves.
Yeah.
So Jake and,
that's great.
Tony and Adam, those guys are all going to be there.
I got to tell you, man, I was in New Orleans last week, and I wore an Uncle Charlie and the Meatball shirt, and I got stopped about a dozen times. Like, that's a great shirt. I love that. Is that your band? And I had to text Tony. I'm like, I got so many compliments on your shirt.
It really is a great band.
They love it. Yeah, they love it. So they could be a hit down in New Orleans. Anyways, go ahead, brother.
So then there's that. Then June 8th, the Blues Society has Mark Hummel coming into the Rose Lawn.
Okay.
Harmonica player extraordinaire. He's one of those guys. Yeah, it's going to be another good night. Yeah. We like doing shows there.
Yeah.
It's a place that's a forgotten place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that was, I loved when you guys did it at the Ramada.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. We did a couple for you there, which was great. Yeah. I loved it.
So that's coming up June 8th. You can get tickets through mbblues.org. And then on the 17th of July, the Blues Society has the free picnic coming back to Sylvan Beach.
Yeah.
So that's happening again out the
July 17th?
Yeah.
I got to put that in the calendar.
That's a Sunday. It's going to be another good one.
Yeah.
So
Sunday at the beach.
Sunday afternoon. It's Pirates weekend.
Oh, cool.
And our blues thing is going on there, too. So
that's going to be
a lot
huge.
going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And then also I want to plug Q on the Canal. That's going on. Our boy Tommy Moriel's putting together this barbecue competition, barbecue fest, food truck thing. It's going on at Bellamy Harbor Park in Rome.
Perfect.
It's August 19th and 20th. Uncle Charlie's playing. Los Blancos is playing. Caution's playing. There are a bunch of great bands playing. So come on out. And now you get your first drink on the house, and you get to sample all these great barbecues, and then you get to judge, too, for $10.
I love seeing Los Blancos in the area too, in Utica, playing a lot more.
This is in Rome.
Yeah, I know, but they're playing in the area, like they got a gig at the Harp too. They're one of the Thursdays at the
Los
Harp.
Blancos is one of the best bands that's ever come out of this area.
Agreed.
Well deserving for them to be in the Syracuse Music Hall of Fame. Well, it should have happened years ago.
Nicest guys in the world too. Colin's just a wonderful guy. All those guys are.
For sure.
Steve, a bunch of them.
Super amounts of talent.
So.
AJ wants to plug that the Handsome Bob's at the gig this Saturday. So cool. That's awesome. You got your foot in the door over there. And you're at the gig soon, too, right? Are you there Friday?
Friday, yep.
You're there Friday. So you guys
and Handsome Bob is there Saturday.
Yeah.
Handsome Bob. By the way, AJ, I didn't get back to you yet. But as long as I got you. Yeah.
Listen to me, damn it.
AJ, I want to maybe have him come up Thursday.
I screwed it up, didn't I?
No, it's hilarious. So, and then where else you playing this week, Justin?
Actually, Wednesday I'm at Heel Path Brewery in the marina in Frankfurt.
Oh yeah, cool
which is
place.
if you, I don't know if anybody's like me. You go to a brewery like that's local, and sometimes some of the local breweries have like an aftertaste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That local flavor.
Yep.
This guy's perfected it. I mean, it doesn't. There's no local flavor, like no weird aftertaste flavor to it. Just incredible beer, and it's right in the Frankfurt Marina. So I'll be there 6 to 9 on Wednesday. My birthday is on Thursday, so
Happy
I'm
birthday,
probably gonna
bud.
get drunk.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yep.
I'll be 41, so I'm saying hello to my 40s in style at my house.
Are you really that young?
Yeah, he is.
You didn't know?
No.
I was the youngest in the band at Showtime when I mean, we started the band in '94.
man.
I was 13.
Oh no, now Ryan Quinn is.
Now Ryan Quinn is that fucker. Anyway, yeah, he's almost 10 years younger than I am. Ryan just turned 31. So, then Friday at the gig, Handsome Bob at the gig on Saturday, and then we're at Harpoon Eddie's for our first Showtime gig at Harpoon Eddie's.
I love when you guys play
outside.
there.
Yes.
Great spot.
You know what? That kid AJ from Handsome Bob got in touch with me. I got to have him up on the show.
Yeah, he's watching.
I guess
so
they're
tell
playing
him.
the gig on Saturday night. At Turnstone? Did you guys hear that?
I didn't.
yeah.
I mean, but maybe there.
We were there.
AJ, can you throw it up here on Facebook
I think
on
he
the
did.
comments?
There it is.
Yeah.
Handsome Bob at the gig this Saturday night.
Oh, I wonder if they're playing the gig on Saturday, Joe. What do you
I don't
think?
know.
The day after Showtime plays.
Handsome Bob, I've never heard
Showtime's
of.
playing there
They're
too.
playing there too.
Oh, my God.
Showtown saying happy birthday, Justin.
Thank you.
But AJ, I'll message you. I meant to message you earlier, but I've been busy.
Hit him
But,
up. I love those guys, man.
he's got to
Yeah,
plug
man.
all his gigs, though. We can't
There's
just.
just,
Yes.
I love it. Uncle Charlie Meatballs, freaking all these bands are so good. The energy levels there because they're fresh. You know, it's just so good. I love it.
And it's summertime.
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 You know, look, I'm going to outdo AJ. One of the places that they're playing too is the Lourdes Bazaar in the end of August.
Okay.
Did you ever go to that?
No.
Did
Yeah,
you ever
we
go to
played.
those little church bazaars?
Yeah, we
man?
played.
Oh shit, man!
I think
those
we
things
actually
are,
might be there again this year.
Those things are fun,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, cool. Which one? The Lord's Bazaar?
Our Lady of Lourdes.
Our Lady of
Oh,
Lourdes.
Our Lady of Lords. Gotcha.
Yeah. Notre Dame Junior High, whatever it is.
Yep, yep.
Gotcha. Cool.
Anyways.
All right, Joe, before we get out of here, let's end with this with a rant.
But I'm just so happy these days. I don't
know.
know. All right, you and your goddamn motorbikes all over the street. And don't give me any of your bullshit, Steve Arthur. He's a ball breaker, and I love that guy. Saw him there in the attacking game. But you saw last week where the city of Utica got all those motorbikes and four-wheelers and, like, confiscated a bunch of them. Steve chimes in and goes, "City of no fun." It was perfect. I cracked up. No, but fuck you and your motorbikes, because I ain't trying to fucking lay in bed at midnight while you're riding up and down my street, 6 years at the same fucking time. All right? I'll put a goddamn rope across that road and take your fucking heads off. But only to the white kids, because I don't want to come off as racist. I don't want to be an asshole. Another thing.
Oh, we got another one.
No, another thing. This pollen shit can go to hell, too, man.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
tired of this. Where'd it come from? Mexico? Did it jump over Trump's wall, and that's why all this pollen's up here? Does it come from Canada? I can't stand pollen, and I can't stand having a stuffy nose this whole part of the year. Mm-hmm. All right? Plus, my old lady gets sick, and then I got to put up with that, too. God love her. No, but my last thing is, and this is a real rant, fuck you and the fireworks, because I'm tired of the fireworks, and they're going to start anytime
They're
soon.
going to start anytime
yeah.
now. You just
All
jinxed
right.
it.
Everyone in Rome the other day. Yep.
Yeah, it's May. They should start next week. Stick them up your ass is what I want to say. And Price Chopper, you're a nice store. I like you, but stick them up your ass for putting them out there in front of it. First of all, you put up a bunch of fireworks in your store and then put up a sign that says don't smoke around them. Well, nobody smoked in a grocery store since 1986, so why don't you shut up? But I hate the fact that they sell them right there, because it just opens the door for the next guy to come by with a pipe bomb and blow your street halfway up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And also, if you're going to use fireworks, wait till it gets fucking dark, please. Thank you. Because this, you just making noise for no apparent reason is stupid.
It is stupid, yeah.
I really hope my neighbor right next door is watching that rant, because he is famous for setting off fireworks in the middle when we're trying to do a podcast. He's blowing it off. And then when I go confront him about it, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to record her. Oh, I'm trying to have fun, man.
Fuck
I'm
you
trying
and
to
your
have
fun. Hey, man,
You can wait,
guess
you can
what?
wait 1 hour to blow off your freaking firework.
Right.
I don't know if these will count. For your
you go.
fun.
Oh,
that's you and your fun.
I guess that counts, too.
Don't be inconsiderate,
20
because that's not fun. But my last one is...
All right, you got another one.
Hey, listen, no, I do have another one.
Okay.
It's the truth. Look, man, if you live in the city of Utica or the city of Rome, just at Frankfurt, whatever, stop with the, get ready, fucking backyard fires, all right, man? If you live up in Forestport, you live in Colebrook, you live out in the woods, you live on the outskirts of town, have all the backyard fires you want. But guess what? While you sit there and watch the flames dance in front of you, all your neighbors' houses are full of smoke, asshole. Put the fire out. And you know what? They didn't go buy nice hardwood. They're burning down the trees with the little helicopters and shit that they cut down from their backyard and a porch they tore off. So it's smoke that smells like a house is on fire. So we're trying to watch a movie and you're having your stupid backyard fire like you're on fucking vacation. And all we can do is smell smoke, and so can all of our neighbors. Not to mention that, like in Utica, the houses are about 10 feet apart, and they're all from 1900. So stick your backyard fire right up your ass, okay? It's not fun for you that I'm trying to kill. It's you being an inconsiderate prick that I'm trying to kill. With your motorcycle, not your motorcycles, I like those, your goddamn off-road bikes and your four-wheelers, your pollen, your effing fireworks. That counts.
No, it does not. Say it again.
You're piling your fucking fireworks in your goddamn bullshit backyard fucking fires in the middle of the city. And other than that, listen to 92.7 The Drive, because we're all about the fun.
This has been a public service announcement from Genesee Joe at 92.7 The Drive.
No, but really, those things are all stuff I don't like.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the passion in your voice.
Man, Joe Town, where are we at?
We're about 26.
Yeah.
Okay.
26.
You know, hey, look, you live in the outskirts of town.
You want to go for 30?
Have all the outside fireworks you want.
Yeah.
Or, fireworks and outside fires. If your neighbor's living room is close enough for you to see what they're on TV, don't have an outside fire. That's all there is to it. If you're watching a movie or playing a video game and I can look across the street and see what you're watching, don't have an outside fire because the smoke's going somewhere. It's going in all your neighbors.
Guilty. But I live in Frankfurt. They're not that close.
That's okay. I'm basically talking about facts in the street. If you live somewhere else, I don't give a shit. Fuck your neighbors, too, because they're just complaining.
You're at 31 now.
Because when my girl starts going, the smoke's getting me, now what am I going to do? Go beat up the guys across the street or the guys over on Jewett Place? No! I'm an old man. I'm not going to go over there and tell them to put their fire out or beat them up. So now I got to get the complaints about the smoke in the house from her. So there you got to put the fire out.
So what you're saying is that you wouldn't be totally upset if your girlfriend wasn't yelling at you to do something about it.
Yes. Definitely.
All right. Okay.
It's like anytime your girlfriend or somebody's wife goes, you know what you got to do is you got to go tell them. It's like, no. Because the next thing is going to be something so completely incendiary that there's no way somebody's not going to jail, them or me or somebody. So no one has to go tell anyone anything, all right?
All right.
So other than that, we're good.
All right. That has been a Genesee Joe rant. We got to make this a daily thing.
I think so. We'll just have him call in every day.
Yeah, can you just call in with a rant?
Call in with a rant.
Call in with a rant.
Joe Town says you're at 31.
Thank you, hon.
Yes, thanks for keeping tabs.
Joe Town, I can't type any faster.
It was good. I got to hang out with Joe Town and Gina and Paul this week. They were at the Sal Villantonetti show, so it was cool to hang out with everybody.
What a cool guy he was.
Sal, yeah.
I talked to him on the phone. He was really, really
He's
cool.
the modern-day Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Modern-day Jackie Gleason.
As a matter of fact, my girl and a bunch of our friends went to that because I had to play Saturday night. But
he's funny.
What a nice guy
he can sing.
Yeah.
He's good, man.
And Anthony LaBarbera is another one.
Yeah, another young guy doing his thing.
Completely different type of music.
Yep.
Somebody should keep that alive, and he's doing a great job.
He is.
For sure.
He is doing a great job. Ant's a good guy. Thanks, Joe, for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the rant. I'm all amped up right now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go get a fire extinguisher.
You guys built it up, and now I felt like I had to really go nuts.
I
so
love it.
You really nailed it, though.
I got a little Lewis Black in there because that's what I was trying for. I was trying for.
I love
Lewis
it.
Black. That was my motivation, kind of a Lewis Black thing.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, you did good. You better check your blood pressure.
Yeah.
I'm good, man.
All right.
Bullshitting.
All right. You got your Lipitor? All right. Thank you to United Auto Sales, EJA Moving Services. Joey's over at 307. Billy the Liquor Guy, Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, my attorney Dave Longaretta, and Ballsy, ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for a 15% discount. We're talking about young bands. One Man the Band.
That's another one.
He's coming tomorrow.
Oh,
he's
is he?
here. Yeah, he's promoting some show he's got
Logan
going on.
Chesborough.
Yep, Logan
Nice guy.
Chesborough.
See,
Great kid.
There's so many of them right now. We didn't even remember all the names. That's
another one.
It's bad for us because it shows we're going downhill.
old.
But no,
We're just old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're old. And I'm a pothead.
Well, there you go.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Looking to sell your vehicle? Contact the United Auto Wholesale Team. We'll buy it. Old or new, car, truck, SUV, van, call to set up an appointment. Then stop in, make the sale, and get instant payment. Sell your vehicle to United Auto's Wholesale Team.